to you live from the studios of 100.9 FM WCHQ and WCHQFM.com. This is In the Studio with your host, Gavin Castor. And good evening, everybody. Welcome to In the Studio here on 100.9 WCHQ Louisville. And we are thrilled to have as our guest Mure, fresh back from the trip out west.
There's the camera.
There's the camera, yeah.
Hi, Gavin.
Hey, Colin.
Gavin.
Nice. Hey, Kendra.
Nice to see you again.
It's great to be here. Great to have you guys here. And I was getting kind of nervous when I saw your post on Friday and said, hey, we're headed to Utah.
We drove a lot.
Yeah.
In a really short period of time.
Yeah. Well, I won't ask how quickly you were driving, but that was a long haul then.
Yeah. The speed limit's actually a little bit higher a lot of areas out there. It's like 80. We saw signs for 80 miles per hour. That's real. It's what we do around here normally, so it was weird.
Well, yeah. It's kind of a, what do you call it, common law, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But they had actual signs for it, so I assume the common law out there is like 105.
Yeah. When I was a kid, my parents and I, we drove to Toronto, and on the Imperial Freeway, the speed limit was 100 kilometers per hour, which is about 63 miles an hour, and everybody drove 100 miles an hour down there, and there were no policemen anywhere. It was just straight. It was a straight shot, so it wasn't like no curves. Yeah, it wasn't like you're going to fly off the road or anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Glad that you guys made it back, and with good reason. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, we got
month.
a few gigs to play while we're here.
Yeah, we got quite a few coming up this summer that we're really excited about. And, we didn't actually intend to head out west. It just kind of happened. We were going on just a big old trip, just adventuring out in the U.S., just seeing what we could see and writing some songs and while we're out there. And we were headed up to Niagara Falls, and then a winter storm came through, and we're like, yeah, let's head back south.
Yeah.
So we went down through the Appalachian Mountains and then went down the Natchez Trace Parkway and decided from there, let's head out west right now, even though we've only got a couple weeks left.
Yeah, it was really weird. We just kind of randomly found quests as we left. We went out to Virginia, and we met a guy who told us about Natchez Trace. So then we went,
wow.
Yeah, so then we went to Natchez Trace, and then when we got to the bottom of the Natchez Trace, we ended up close to Baton Rouge, where Frederick the Younger was playing that night.
Yeah.
So Jenny let us into the show for free.
Wow.
And that was really cool of her because we were broke.
So we got to listen to them sing their song about Baton Rouge in Baton Rouge. So
wow.
that was pretty cool.
It's a religious
How cool is
experience.
that?
Yeah. It was a really cool venue, and so we're putting that on the list of hopefully one day getting to play. But
That's great. You did drop your card and your CD off there, right?
We did not.
Oops.
We're not quite at that level
really
yet.
bad at networking.
We're not quite at the touring level yet or anything. We got a little ways to go probably before we set anything up like that. But
But it was a cool venue. Really like to play there.
Yeah. Well, I know your fans would disagree with you being far away from touring. I mean, you're already doing the logistical part. You're traveling all over the United States. So
yeah, we're making connections with people, and we met quite a few people out west who said, yeah, if you were in town a couple of weeks longer, you could be playing this festival with us. And we were like, what? Yeah. So we had to come back for a couple of the festivals here, though. So it's like maybe next year, and
you're planning your touring.
Yeah,
your tour for
there's
next year.
Definitely a bunch of people we met in venues that we saw that we could play at, that we think are at the level to play. But so we can't wait.
We'd have to have them ship Jordan out to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just unbox me when I get
Put them in a big box. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, let's start off with the tune, guys.
Okay.
Get this place warmed up.
Get it warmed up. What do you guys think?
It's Mure live in the studio And check us out on Facebook. Facebook video is up on the WCHQ site as well as the in the studio page.
I wander alone inside. I'm sifting through all these trials. I'm cutting and pasting pieces. I'm thinking that I know how to let it all go, all the way down. You're pulling all the bad things out of me, opening the box of pain, wrap around my mind infinity. Now we're hanging up the picture frame. It's a gotta live. I can't tell you what I give to get away from this mind of mine. Can I feel? Tell me, how am I to know? How am I to know? Hold me down, back to my feet, 'cause I've been in a crowd. Turn my head around, can you hear me out? Do I place all of my trust in something that I never really know? I believe I know the walls and light dance around the room. Can't keep my mind away from you. Going away from you, and so it goes. Can I feel? Tell me, how am I to know?
Phil and Mure live in the studio here on 100.9 FM WCHQ Louisville. And, you know, I've got a problem with you guys, and that is I have a problem trying to pick out a favorite song. I was listening to your EP. It's like, that's my favorite. That's my no, that one. Wait. What's the next one? You know, great stuff.
Do you have a least favorite?
No, I don't want to go there. No.
Oh.
I will say this: In the Room and Paint the Sky are my top two favorites. So what I usually do is I'll put the CD in my Jeep, and I'll start on 5, Paint the Sky, and then it'll go to In the Room. Yeah. So the two. Yeah.
All killer, no filler, right off the bat.
That's right. You plan it that way, right? Yeah.
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 And then you get to song 3, and it's like,
Yeah. It's kind of like a horse racing, you know. You've got the champion, and then you got the field horses. You know, you got your filler songs.
pretty much.
Yeah. No, but every song on the EP is fantastic. We're talking about "Stay With Me" is the title, and we'll get into it a little bit later because we wanted to play a track off of the CD as well and get into all the technical gobbledygook too that we the way we geeky people like to talk. But let's talk a little bit more about your trip out west. People are like, but about the people that you met out there, and of course Campy.
Campy.
We need to talk about Campy.
Little campy.
Yeah, we have a little teardrop camper, kind of the kind that's only like it's like a bed on wheels, and then there's like cabinets and a little countertop in the back. So there's not a real kitchen in it like a lot of them have. It's like really bare bones kind of one of these. So it's kind of like a tent on wheels, really. So you can you know, you don't need electricity with it. So we didn't bring anything. We didn't bring a heater or air conditioner, and we were just fine, you know. Like
Wow.
we ended up camping actually in the middle of like we woke up one day in Flagstaff with snow everywhere, and it was like 20 degrees, and we camped it. You have to have like the windows cracked and like it ventilating, or else you get like condensation.
Yeah.
So, you know, like you're wearing all your clothes and your like layers, and you have all these blankets on, and we stayed warm enough. So
Wow.
it's really just like a tent on wheels kind of.
Yeah.
You know, you can we were able to like just drive out dirt roads too, like out in Sedona, just in the desert, and just park it and then camp right there. Like, there's a lot of other people there too doing that, and
Wow.
so it's
That's what's nice about it too, because it gives you so much more flexibility. Because people, you know, they buy these nice campers, and it's basically your home.
yeah.
And so you got to have running water, and you got to have electricity, and you wind up doing the exact same thing in that trailer that you do at home. You know,
Yeah.
wash dishes and watch TV, and like, okay, what's the point? You know.
Yeah, and that's what I really like about this is that there's no tanks, there's no water tanks, there's no bathrooms, bare minimum, you know, a
Right.
bed and counter space. And there is some, we do have a battery on it, so it does have lights and a fan. So that's really,
Yeah.
you know, but we don't end up, you know, having things that require electricity. Like if we had a slightly bigger camper going out in the middle of the desert or something, it's like, oh man, we don't have electricity, so we can't use this or this. But with this,
Right.
it's like there's not those things
You
to
don't
even
expect
think
it.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just get our acoustics and sit around a fire and write some songs and
Yeah.
jam a bit. So, but yeah, that's we call it Little Campy because it's really tiny. It's so
Yeah.
small. It's like really lightweight, and it's like it's so tiny. Like when you look at it, you're like, can people even fit in there really? But yeah, it's like 6 foot long. His feet hit the very end of it.
Wow.
So,
It's exactly the length of
But
mine.
there's
Yeah.
an actual subculture of teardrop, you know, the vintage teardrop
yeah.
trailer collectors, yeah. And that
Yeah.
some of them really custom them out. You customize them.
Yeah, we're planning on like upgrading ours over time. You know, getting it off-road tires and
She
stuff.
wants to
and
put stickers on it.
bunch
Oh,
of
yeah.
sticks. Well, we have a bunch of like glow-in-the-dark stars inside it too, and like little planets and things, and we're gonna deck it out a little more.
That's
But-
awesome.
So we're making it into our little home because we don't have a home right now. We're
Mhm.
homeless, but are a camper, and then staying at our family's houses right now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Taking care of the dogs.
Taking care of the dogs.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing right
That's
now.
how we earn our livelihood.
Yeah.
For the
But-
time being.
Yeah, but we got to ask, the question has to be asked, do you feel like you're missing something? Because for me, it doesn't look like you're missing
Daily
anything.
showers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Like, it's so funny. Like, now that we're back home, it's like, oh my gosh, we just walk right in my parents' house, and there's like running water, and there's,
Yeah.
we have to lug around our 3-gallon water and try to sneak it in places to fill it up. Like, so it's like, yeah, and then just being able to take a shower. Like, you go a couple days without it, and we met some really nice people that let us shower in their house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were. Colin can talk. Colin's better at talking about
I don't know. You're doing a
Kinda
really,
stuff.
really good job. I'm just really excited about this. I was going to let you have this whole one.
I was talking
I was
about
going to see how far you could go. It's like usually she goes, I'm Kendra. Hi.
No, I
Colin,
don't.
can you talk now, please?
Well, he asked us about the people that we met. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we met a bunch of super cool people out here. We went to an open mic where we went to Flagstaff, and open mics are cool. You know how cool open mics are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
love 'em.
immediately made like 7 or 8 new friends, like just because we told them, hi, we're not from here. We're
Yeah.
from really, really, really far away from here.
Yeah.
So we met a whole bunch of really cool people. We met a few of the open mic regulars that kind of go around there. And then the open mic host was a guy named Greg who played in this band local to the area called Hired Guns.
Arizona Hired Guns.
Arizona
Yeah,
Hired
Hired Guns,
Guns.
yeah.
And he's a freaking awesome guitar player. And he invited us back to his place
Him and his
later
wife.
that week.
Yeah.
Back to him and his wife's place for their band practice. And it was really cool because it was like
Wow.
the first time in weeks that we'd get to put our hands on electric guitars again. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they had a place like right up against the like a state forest or the national. I don't think it was the national forest, but like they took us out hiking up there and showed us some like ruins at the top of this mountain, and
Oh, wow.
they were so nice to us. Like it was shocking almost because like in my head I'm like kind of worried like, all right, we're gonna go traveling to who knows where and who knows what kind of people we'll come across, and
Yeah.
kind of nervous about it and anxious about like safety and everything.
Yeah.
And because we just have our car in that little camper, like who knows, somebody could
Right.
try to, I don't know. But so, and then we just ended up meeting the nicest people of all time. And it's
Yeah.
just like, is this real?
Yeah.
And they just like let us stay in their house for a couple days and let us shower there and let us park out front. They're going to give us electricity for our camper. But we talked to them for a while outside, and they were like, yeah, you guys can just stay in our house because we like you all. And they called us like their stepkids or something.
Oh,
Like they were like
that's
our
sweet.
step parents. So
How cool is that?
yeah, they were so friendly, and there's a bunch of other people there too who were offering us a place to stay, and it was just crazy. It was like, what? This is so much like better than what you build up in your brain. You get
Yeah.
kind of worried, but then you actually do it, and you're like, wow, everybody's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Restored your faith in humanity.
Yes,
Some of
that's
it anyway.
exactly what it's.
Some
what
of it.
it's,
Yeah.
we also met
so
some
far.
weird people, but those aren't the fun stories.
Yeah.
The fun stories are when it's a happy
Well,
ending.
We didn't
Yeah.
meet really weird people though. That's the thing. Like we never came across any like dangerous situations whatsoever. Yet.
That's really
Hopefully
cool.
not at all.
Yeah.
But
Didn't hear any banjos playing.
No, we didn't. As a matter of fact, as far away as we got from people at some points, we
Yeah.
didn't hear banjos playing.
Yeah.
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 so,
Sorry, that was wide open. I just had to throw that one.
Speaking of wide open.
In case you're just tuning in, you're listening to In the Studio here on 100.9 FM WCHQ Louisville. My guest tonight, Mure. They just got back about 11 o'clock Saturday night from their trip out west. It wasn't a tour yet, but
yeah.
bet you took a lot of notes. you
Yes,
know?
did.
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, so you will be touring out west next year. And
Sounded like a demand.
yeah. And
Gavin, you've got us right here.
yeah. And after that last song, I'm sure everyone would agree. I mean, there are a lot of great comments on the post already, the video post.
Wow. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Eric Rhodes,
Hey, Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric.
Kendra's voice on fire.
Aw, thank
yeah.
you.
I mean, you guys are there. I'm here to tell you, you are there.
We
Believe me.
appreciate your support and your enthusiasm, Gavin.
Absolutely. Huge fan here.
Thank you.
Jordan's pretty good.
Let's go ahead and play another tune.
Play another
All right.
tune.
You wanna do Mike Mixtape?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get this all. Okay. My pedal was acting up a minute ago. It's good. It's fine now. All right. Ready? Sowing seeds with your hidden intentions, but in the light there are no second chances. Feel how the voices become moving pictures. Now choose a frame between truth and believing. Keep a watch on your words. There's no answer. Longing to breach all the walls of frustration, waiting to breathe 'cause you might be mistaken, choosing to walk on a darker direction, but blind to the dangers of your isolation. Keep an eye on the way you're shaping perception. Between lines there's a world of unanswered questions. Why to persist in this life you created? Held in the cage by your own invitation. Your fears of deception have gotten too far. You've forgotten the ground is not a real way you are. Between lines there's a world of unanswered questions. But keep in mind you're a fool with no direction.
100.9 WCHQ Louisville, Villa Mure live, playing the track You Might Be Mistaken off their Stay With Me EP. And lots of comments. I had to write them down because this post only shows 4 posts, and people are just posting.
Awesome.
You guys are famous, you know.
What are you saying about me?
Having some pedal issues, so I apologize. My guitar's doing weird things. It'll go in and out between an echo and then nothing, just dry,
Yeah.
and then it'll do my effect I want. But
Yeah.
I think the electronics are doing something funky right
Oh,
now.
wow.
So
Wow.
if anything starts sounding kind of odd, randomly coming in with echo, just I guess go with it. I'm just trying to figure it out. It keeps kind of turning off and just going back on. So I don't know.
Play
But
it
thank
off.
You
you
shouldn't have
guys.
said anything. You're the only one who knows.
But if you know, I'm
Yeah. Click,
causing me
click,
to like
click.
you hear a lot of click noises. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Figured that was part of the song.
in the video, you probably see me going, "What's going on?" like while I'm playing, like, ah. So yeah.
Yeah, fist shaking, and yet the guitar is still being played. How is that
I'm
happening?
trying.
Yeah.
Ah.
A couple of comments I wanted to share, which is
Oh,
really
boy.
cool. Polly Crone said, "Love your gypsy life." Nick Hill, Force and Photons. It's one of my favorite riffs. You might be
Ah.
mistaken.
Cool.
Hey,
Thanks.
Nick.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Nick.
man.
Yeah, Nick, thanks for listening in. Tyler Williams, thank you for listening in. Freaking killer. And, of course, Mom,
Which mom?
Pam.
Oh
Oh.
yeah, mom's listening.
My
says,
mom's
"We-
not listening.
We are watching from our fully stocked camper in Pensacola, Florida.
Wow. Fully stocked
Sorry,
camper.
Pam, I had to share that. You know. And yeah, I hope you guys are safe. I'm checking all your posts too on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see you yet. I wish we were down there too, even though we're here in
And
the studio.
and thanks so much for listening in and catching the video. And be sure to listen or watch the video either from a really good computer with really good speakers or put in your earbuds, because the audio comes straight off of our board into the Facebook feed. So it sounds
Real
really
dry.
real dry. Oh, it's really good.
It's not dry.
It's wet. We put a little reverb on it. So
Yeah, Colin.
yeah, we take the reverb off.
This Colin.
Yeah, we have 2 Collins tonight, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
I wanted to say a big welcome to Colin Trask.
Yeah.
Who's doing a killer job tonight. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Colin.
Thanks, Colin.
Always happy to be with him. Welcome back from the Derby. I'm glad to see you recovered. This guy,
Survived, you mean?
yeah, he's wiping the sweat from his brow. Colin handles all the audio video feeds for all networks, global networks, for the Kentucky Derby. And
Dang.
congratulations, man.
Woo.
Yeah,
It's a good gig.
yeah. Yeah, it's a good gig. Well, it's a good gig to brag about.
Yeah.
At the time, it's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're talking, Europe, TV feeds from Europe and from all over the world,
Wow.
Asia. Yeah,
Wow.
the entire world watches the Kentucky Derby. So, yeah, it's a really big deal. So anyway, what I wanted to do, we're at the halfway point, is we were going to play a track off of the EP because it really shows off your engineering prowess as well.
Let's see how it goes.
These guys, why don't you tell our listeners how you recorded it real quick, and then while I queue up in the room.
Okay.
A couple microphones in her mom's basement.
Yeah.
That's about it.
We used GarageBand. This is our first attempt, first go at all this. So, we used GarageBand. Colin was mostly our sound engineer between the two of us. We didn't have Jordan yet for this recording, so we did. We used cajon and shakers and tambourine. So if the drums sound a little bit lacking, it's because it's not drums. But we did what we could. We tried to make a unique sound with it, and so this one's just me and Colin, and he did all the sound work with it. Really, he put it all together. Yeah, he twisted all the knobs and he pressed all the buttons.
Yeah.
So
I want to ask which computer. We know it's GarageBand, which should be a Mac. What
Just
kind of-
2010 MacBook Pro.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah,
There
got
you
it
go.
for school
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Yeah. So all of you inspiring musicians out there who are wanting to record, this is proof you can do it. It can be done. Of course, you have to have the ears for it, just like a photographer needs to have the eyes. But this is proof positive because this is such an excellent sounding
Thank
EP,
you.
guys. It
That's-
really
we're-
is. And
We thought it was going to sound stupid, but no, it ended up
No.
sounding all right. So.
no, believe me. And yeah, we'll get into how good it is right afterward. This
Aw.
is This is a track off Villa Mure's Stay With Me. This is the opening track called In the Room here on WCHQ. 100.9 WCHQ Louisville. Villa Mure off their EP. Stay With Me. Yeah, that's the name of it. Well, it's what throws me off because it's a line from In the Room.
Yes, it is.
I love it when people do that.
That was Colin's idea. We actually had a well, not really a disagreement, but we went on about what we thought the name of the EP should be. I wanted it to be, because we originally were going to call it In the Room and have the title track be In the Room.
Yeah.
But he had come up with a whole nother idea and told me the whole idea about it. I was like, I still want it to be In the Room. But no, we went back and forth about it, and then, I thought that was actually pretty cool, having just a line in it.
Yeah.
He gave me so many examples of different bands that did it that he loved. So I was all right, if you're this passionate about it, let's go with it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
And of course, being a senior like I am, I can't remember, but I know a lot of albums that had that, had their album titles, which were lines from songs.
Rush did it a bunch. That's where I got it.
Okay.
It's a Rush ripoff.
Yeah.
A
Of
bunch
course, I have to admit, the In the Room would made sense with the photograph of
it's-
you two in the room.
We're just dancing. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that photo is, he did like a super crazy long exposure thing where we had all the lights off and we had the flash in there. And we decided to just start dancing, and he clicked the button and it would flash and then capture that image and then flash again and capture that image. And so it compiled all that into one. And if you look at it too, it's kind of tricky. Where the inside, if you see what's on the wall, it's like there's a picture on the wall, and then there's a tapestry behind it, which is a tree, and that is the inspiration for the album cover. If you look at the painting on the.
How cool is
So
that?
that's where we got the imagery for the album cover.
Yeah.
Was happening. We just in our apartment put up the tapestry, and then we're like, oh, let's put this picture right in front of it, see what it looks like. And then we thought it looked cool, and we're like, hey, let's do a painting of that together. So
That is really, really cool. Yeah.
thanks.
And of course, Kendra, you painted the album cover,
Yeah.
and Colin did the photography, the inner picture. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Team effort.
Team effort.
My part didn't take nearly as long.
Yeah.
15-second exposure,
Yeah.
if that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull it up, put it on the computer, done. Yeah.
Yeah, it took me a long time. I haven't oil painted in a while, so it was kind of my first attempt back at that since high school, really. Well, since
Yeah.
college. So.
It's a beautiful painting, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. Want to talk about In the Room real quick. I know it sounds silly, but the song, the writing part, because it actually, some of the songs, like You Might Be Mistaken, or I can tell they're Kendra songs, but this one sounds like a Colin Kendra song. It sounds like a
A little bit.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
actually, all of them
Because
are exact 50-50, really.
Are they?
Like, he came up with a lot of the words, and then I'd rearrange them, And this
Mm-hmm.
one in particular, though, was one that he had already had words to, and I didn't really do much rearranging. I just kind of said, what if we extend this word another time or something? Like, double this line, the Stay With Me line, actually, to make it a full. So, I mean.
Yeah, I love. It's just a great tune, and of
Thank you.
course, the laugh. You got to mention the laugh.
I was super mad about that. Because, I mean, I guess we were recording. We did the vocals actually at our apartment in our closet. And so we just be like, all right, let's try to do vocals today on this song. And we'd go in there and just be goofy and hit record and just do, try to do the vocal parts. And then sometimes we'd just be talking and saying, he'd have it recording, and then I just do dumb things or say something stupid.
Well, the laugh
Yeah.
wasn't even my fault. It was like I went to do a take
remember
that she was supposed to sing, and she goes up to the microphone. She's about to deliver her part, and she just burps really loud.
I forgot about that.
and then she kind of just is surprised at herself, and then just starts laughing her butt off about it.
Well,
So,
his
but
face
it was
probably-
still taken.
Was
so,
it in real time? Was it in the?
It was
field, or did-
in that part. I think I did bump it
You
a
nudged
few
it a few
seconds
seconds,
here
yeah.
or there, because I thought it would be better if it happened right at the end. But we
Right
were
at
doing,
that swell.
yeah, but at the time though we were doing we were being a little bit, I guess, experimental about that section because we didn't really have that many vocals planned, so we were just
Yeah.
doing takes of random stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were,
So
like,
that's what we were doing. We were in the middle of doing a random take, and she was gonna sing some sort of
just
weird
like little
thing,
little woos or
Yeah.
oohs in the background and stuff.
and she just
And I love
burped
that.
instead.
I love the vocal swells though. It's really cool. And I mentioned this to you before, Colin, how when you switch to the guitar solo, how everything dropped off except for bass and percussion, so you could hear that guitar solo. It was really cool. God, the
Yeah.
rhythm guitars just dropped off.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
very exposed moment. So.
Yeah.
And then you can hear Jeremiah, the frog.
yeah.
The frog.
That's the frog. It's what is it called? A gyro or gyro or something?
Something
Yeah.
like that. I think.
Yeah.
I think a euro is a
Sandwich. Yeah.
But it's
It's
one
a
of those.
Greek sandwich.
Yes, but it's one of those the percussion instrument that you put the little wood stick and go.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
frog.
Across
It's a
it.
wooden frog.
But this one's in the shape of a frog, and it's got a little wood block on its nose. So we named it Jeremiah, and yeah, so we have him throughout the album, just little moments with the wood block or
Yeah.
the little wood sound.
Yeah, I think he shows up on Paint the Sky too. I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
I can't
maybe.
remember.
He's hidden in there in some places.
Yeah, it's really cool. So when you guys pick this up, of course, this is available at all the local outlets here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Guest room and
a
and,
couple have been bought. I don't know if any of the places have
The
run
Matt
out yet.
Anthony's,
We
yeah.
give like 5 to each of them,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
if we sold 5 copies. Have you ever had a dream? If we've sold 5 copies, then I guess we need to bring them back in there. But I'm pretty sure they're still all available there.
yeah,
Yeah. Let's
And
see.
if
It's Guest Room Records, Matt Anthony's, and then
Better Days.
Better Days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But if you get it at Guest Room Records, they're going to be, at least they used to. They used to do this thing where if you bought a Poor Castle Artists CD at Guest Room,
Mhm.
you'd get into one day of Poor Castle for free.
Wow,
So
and that's right. You guys are playing Poor Castle.
we are playing Poor Castle.
Congratulations.
thank
The
you.
third
That is
day
awesome. The
after
third day.
everybody's already hungover.
Maybe.
And it's still a steal at, well, I don't want to give away how much it is. Go to poorcastlefestival.com.
Just go. Just get up and
just
go.
get
there.
up and go. It's an
Yeah.
amazing, amazing event.
Yeah.
And you cannot beat the price of it. And,
3 days of local music.
Yeah,
So
because we can't afford to go to the bigger, similarly named event. But this is and it happens at Apocalypse Brew Works.
right,
So,
yeah, right across the street.
10
And
feet from where we are.
yeah, and the WCHQ booth will be there.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
come and meet us. You are listening to In the Studio, live in-studio performance. I'm Gavin Castor. My guest tonight, Villa Mure, and this is a fun ride. You guys ready to play another tune?
Sure, let's do it.
Sure, let's do it. If my pedal will cooperate. So I'm sorry if it gets all weird and echoey. It's coming on and off. All right. Are we gonna do
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the name suddenly. Okay, here we go.
What is it now that you're hiding this time? Don't try to be around. I know that something's going down. You're covering your chair, running me around. I know you're up to something. I know you're up to something.
Oh, man.
100.9. Great stuff.
Thank you. That
Despite
pedal
the-
definitely going in and out is like wigging me out of here. I'm like,
You know what's funny is you could be doing that live at, well, you're live here, but you know, at a gig, and somebody probably walk up and said, "How do you do that with your guitar? That's awesome, man. It goes in and out. That's really cool."
It's a really good.
One
effect.
minute
Yeah.
it's echoey, and the next it's straight. That's really cool.
I need to get a pedal like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
that time was really pretty obvious going
Yeah.
in and out. It was like suddenly really dry and then really echoey and then really dry. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have to get that looked at.
Yeah.
Pedals are all salty because she hasn't played with them in a month.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
all mad.
Yeah. They're
I'm
rebelling.
sorry. Yeah. Well, I hope it's gonna work out because that's one of my favorite things.
The delay pedal has taken a second to kick on, and that's really funny.
Wow.
Ha ha, it's delayed. All right. Sorry about that, you guys.
So, you guys been on the road and writing. You got a lot of songs in the bank right now. Ready to record a chord? Ready to record again?
Not record ready yet. We still gotta play with Jordan.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
bring
we're
him to
back.
him.
We gotta show him the new stuff. And then we
Right.
gotta complete some of it. Some of it's like, and then we'll figure out what happens here when there's 3 of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let Jordan contribute.
Yes.
Yeah, we weren't.
Yeah.
We weren't.
Yeah, and I want to mention Jordan. I love your cymbal work, and you might be mistaken and up to something. Great stuff. Great stuff. That is Jordan Hubbard on drums, Colin Lemure on bass, Kendra Villager Lemure on guitar and vocals. That's the name, Villa Mure.
Yes.
Yeah, it was cool. I was listening to the other station, WFPK, and Duke Meyer actually went to the extent to say, "This is Villa Mure, Louisville music," which is Colin Lemure, Colin and Kendra Villager Lemure.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, that's really cool, Duke. Thank you very
He
much.
knows it.
You guys are getting a lot of airplay here and on WFPK. You guys are,
Oh, it's so
you're
weird.
a big thing here.
It's
Yeah.
weird because I thought, I was like hoping like that us recording this on GarageBand ourselves. I was
Yeah.
hoping the quality would be good enough to play like here.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we'll give it a shot, see if they'll even listen to it. And then
Yeah.
they're playing it like
Oh, yeah.
I thought they might play like one song one time maybe, but they
Right.
have it 2 of the songs in the rotation. Like that's crazy. I didn't think
Yeah.
that was gonna happen at all.
It's max whack.
That's
Yeah.
and that's all, Colin's
Congratulations.
engineering over here.
Yeah.
Colin sound engineering. We just worked with what we had, So that's just really cool. We were able to do it 100% ourselves, no outside really anything.
Yeah.
And
That. Michael Sanders helped.
Michael Sanders helped on a couple little things, and he gave us some
Yeah.
pointers. So that's really
Yeah. Yeah.
that. Yeah, and we also did have a little bit of help. Before we started recording, we were going to be recording with Noah Hewitt Ball from Cabin.
Yeah.
So he gave us some inspiration really on some of the, when we were bringing the songs to like a drummer's before we had Jordan at that point too. And he kind of gave us, he was playing along on drums, so he gave us some ideas of how, like, oh, we didn't think of it this way. Like, that's kind of
Right.
cool. Like, the beat of, like, up to something that was going kind of a different direction. So we got another little funny tribute, though, in the song In the Room. The end of it goes, dun, dun.
Yeah.
That's actually a tribute to a Cabin song.
Oh,
The
yeah.
end of
It is what it looks like.
It is what it looks like. Yeah.
It ends
Great
the
to-
same way, so
Yeah.
we were like,
We're big fans of Cabin,
we really
so
like
Yeah.
Cabin a lot.
I do too. Huge fan. I got to see them play at Uncle Pleasant's. Or not
When it
Uncle-
was Uncle Pleasant's.
No, not Uncle Pleasant's. Uncle Slayton's. There were 2 uncles here. Uncle Slayton's.
yeah.
Yeah, down on Broadway. And yeah, they were. It was a pre-Forecastle show, and yeah, they just knocked it right out of the park.
They're
It's
insane.
a great. Yeah, they really are.
They're really good.
Yeah, they were
Really.
my favorite Louisville band of all time, really.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to give a shout out to Noah Hewitt Ball from Cabin for helping us out on the beginnings of this recording. So
Absolutely.
and then he actually suggested we just go ahead and do it ourselves too, because we were sending him some pieces, and he's like, what, you guys probably could just do it yourself too.
Yeah.
Like, you could do it. So like, because we had so many pieces. So
So we did.
Yeah, you've got the ear for it, Colin.
Thanks.
Both of you. So you have a beautiful product, and we really, really appreciate it. We've coming down to the last 5 minutes, and if you guys have one more song, you could play us out.
Okay.
And until then, I've got to talk about next week's show, which is Ryan Sinclair and All the Little Pieces coming in from Lexington. And a real treat. She has just recorded and just released a new album, and really anxious to meet up with them. Also, her mom and stepdad do Balcony TV Kentucky, and they'll be coming back
Oh,
here in
okay.
September or October to film some more
Cool.
slots. So big shout out to them. So for WCHQ and in the studio, I'm Gavin Castor. Peace to you all.
It's my time to paint the sky. It's my time.
You're listening to WCHQ-LP, Louisville, Kentucky, 100.9 FM.